Okay, so now we're going to do drawing for CSWA exam, practice exam, section D, problem 3. So in this case, we have, again, two orthographic views. I would call this a top view and a right view, although I don't know the function of this part. And then we have an isometric view down here, and we have section AA. And this section looks to be right through the center of this little ramp-shaped extrusion. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this part and we're going to make a drawing. So we can go over here to File, let me say File, Make Drawing from Part. It should open up a new drawing. There we go. Okay, if you don't see this view, I like to use the B landscape. You can use any size you want, but the larger views are going to change the relative font size to the view size. If you have a huge bedsheet drawing and 10-point font, it's going to look teeny tiny. So one of these first view sizes, uncheck the display sheet format. We're not going to use the format for this. Click OK. And you should see your view palette over here. Let me get my face out of the way. So to match this drawing, I want to drag what I would call a top view. It's calling it front view. The names may change depending on how you've oriented your sketches. And then automatically, if I just move the mouse to the right, it's going to try to make that projected view. I'm going to left click to accept it. I'm going to right click to stop making views. And now I have my two orthographic views. You can create all these dimensions. One dimension I see a lot of people having trouble with is, just zoom in over here, this 20 dimension to the center of this edge. So let me show you how to do that. Click Smart Dimensions in the Annotation tab. And then first click this edge, then click the edge of the circle. It's going to find the center point and it's going to want to drop your dimension. I'm going to change my units to millimeters and that should be right. So an issue that many people have is that they create a center mark, right? And oops, let's see, slots. Okay, so if your center mark doesn't come up nicely in the slots, look, you have some options here. Either this, it's going to show the center of the slot or the two ends. And I think you want the two ends. So the problem most people have is they hit Smart Dimension, they try to go from the center mark to the edge, and it gives you an angle, right? Because the center mark are these perpendicular lines. You don't want that. You want to go from the edge to the edge of this circular feature. You always want to, almost always want to dimension to geometry, not to annotation marks. So that's that. And then the next challenge we have is to create the section view, which is right through the center of this feature. So in order to do that, we go back to the Drawings tab, we click Section View, and we're going to click the auxiliary option. So the points 1 and 2 refer to the clicks that you're going to do to create this section line, right? So in order to get it to go right through the middle here, if I just mouse over, you can see you want to pick up the center of that edge. So left click there, and then you just find the center of that circle and left click there, and right click to accept, and then drop your view right there. So in this case, it's aligned, it's oriented properly. If you needed to flip the side, you would just click that flip direction. And that's it. If you want to faithfully recreate the isometric view on the left, you can see if it magically appears. Let's see, what's the orientation look like? You can see if it appears in your view palette. My isometric view looks nothing like the one in the drawing, so if I want to make that view, which I don't really care about because I'm just making these drawings to check the dimensions, but if you do want to create that, you pull up your part and then you orient it. Let's see, I would click spacebar and then orient it, not that direction. If you get this, you can click shift and then any arrow key, and it'll move it 90 degrees. As long as you're holding shift, it's going to move it 90 degrees. Excuse me. In our case, let's see, I kind of want it turned around like this, and then I'm going to rotate it. Let's see, which way? I'm not going to hold shift, and if I hit the arrow key, say 3 times, oops, left, 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 and then I hit the down key twice, I believe that gets it in the proper orientation. So 3 clicks to the left is 45 degrees, and then 2 clicks down is 30 degrees. That seems to be consistent with their drawings. So then to save that spacebar, I click this little button to add a new view, and I like to call it ISO drawing or something like that. That'll help me remember that it's a view to be used in the drawing. And then if I go back to that drawing, I can find it in my view palette here. If I refresh, right, I can just drag this over, or I can create a new drawing by clicking model view, making sure that the right part is selected, hit the next, and then I can choose these different drawing options. And it looks like it's going to make it huge. Oh no. So there it is. And as I did, and maybe if you didn't see the other videos, if you want to shade these, all you do is left click near the border, and then click display type, shaded with edges. And if you do it to the initial view that you created, it will propagate that display style to all the different views that you created. So that's it. Just create the dimensions. I don't think there's anything else really tricky about this one. And that's it for that.